And this just in, you can go f yourself.
Polyfamily officially updated they will not be back for season 2. What happened? He's right behind me, isn't he?
Taya's my wife and Alicia's my girlfriend. And vice versa, Alicia's my wife and Taya's my girlfriend.
TLC on their never-ending quest to replace the Duggars, even though they can't quite catch on, that kind of programming is not popular anymore, and we might need a course change, premiered April, Polyfamily. Now, this is a family of polyamorous people who are raising their children together, but it's TLC. So, of course, the dynamic was absolutely unhealthy. People really didn't like the show, and this one's got more allegations than I can't even think of someone to compare them to. This is Tyler and Alicia. They have several kids whom they let this guy treat terribly and shun from the rest of the family. Really, I'm giving you an overview. You need to go into my playlist and watch if you want the whole information. It's a lot. But they were high school sweethearts and then got married, met these other people, decided to move in together, have this whole thing. Now, this is Taya and Sean. They could not have been high school sweethearts, to be fair, because when he was graduating from high school, she was actually being born. Sean was Alicia's boss, and we can't really pin down the timeline. It's somewhere between 17 and 19 that they actually started dating, ended up getting married a little bit later on, but he had to finalize his divorce first. The dynamics here were pretty clear. A lot of people are there for Taya, and Alicia felt very left out on top of having her boundaries completely violated constantly. And when her boundaries were violated, this is typically the response she was given.
I think it's weird that you don't like to hear that.
Why?
I don't know.
That's always been an ongoing thing with us.
Just so weird.
I know you might not think that looks like a big deal. However, when someone has clear, asserted boundaries, calling them weird or trying to coerce them in some way to change those boundaries is a really big problem. If you're around people like that, you know what? Be around different people, you know? Thea did mirror some of that, though, because there was a couple things from the show. One, Alicia was like, I'm not into it. They don't do stuff together. But she kept trying to get her to kiss her and then pouted when Alicia said no. That just gives me all the vibes. I don't care who's doing it. That's not cool. If someone says no, it's no. That's what it is. Not to mention, one of the big storylines for Taya was her girlfriend, who she was trying to talk to everybody about, and can we date? So that was a complete lie for the television show. They had been dating for years. Everybody knew about it, and they have since broken up. Why aren't they coming back for another show? According to them, I want to put a big pin in that, according to them. This just in, we're never doing reality TV again. To everyone who found us through the chaos and chose to stay, thank you. Your support has made all the difference through this journey, and don't you worry, we'll keep sharing our story, but this time we're taking the mic, which is an interesting statement considering most of what people were upset about didn't happen on the show. There were actually great lengths taken on the show to pretend Sean didn't actually have 10 kids instead of the 5 he claims from this marriage, and even got a tiger tattoo to cover up their name tattoos on his arm. Okay, that one I have to say allegedly, but I don't have to say allegedly about the court records. One of Sean's storylines we'll all remember is a hyperfixation on a blood type, and that means that that kid is not mine, and also a preoccupation with getting legal rights to the children that are from the other couple, who some came in before they got married and some came in after. Right? So that didn't hit right on its own. Then it starts coming out that Sean has been married 2 times before for a total of 5 children, and he was no longer allowed to be around either one of those children from either marriage due to a finding of immediate danger, and those findings of immediate danger were entered by default because he didn't even really fight it. Either he didn't show up to court or he never answered the petition. And so, he didn't fight it at all. Didn't really fight it. Wasn't the right thing to say there. You add this to the way that we saw him treat their kids, call them liars, and shun them from the rest of the family, and disallow them from speaking to their parents.
Raina's grounded for lying, and that was a decision that we have all come up to as an agreement. There are certain things that we have talked about prior to, lying being one of them. That's never going to be an okay thing to do, so that is a automatic grounding.
With that history, shouldn't be parenting at all, but allegedly, I have to say allegedly, however, a ton of the family has come out and said that we don't spend time with them because we found out about his past. And these sorts of things, right? But he is the primary caretaker. He stays home with the kids because allegedly is really not able to hold a job because he is inappropriate with his coworkers and has a little bit of a history. I mean, that kind of makes sense. This was his employee and her very much older married boss, so...
I haven't seen any of the kids all day, and I just wanted a few minutes to bond with the kids. I don't like the way Sean interrupted our conversation, the way he kind of shut things down between Raina and I.
Didn't like that this man told him he is not allowed to speak to his own child, and mercy on the person who ever told me I'm not allowed to talk to my kid. Let me tell you that much. But you let it happen, walked away, and obviously you're still in a relationship, and vilifying the public for being upset about justified things. Interesting.
Gotta find out, that's the way it goes. Mess with my family.
each other, live in the same house, have to exhibit that toxicity in front of the kids, and openly say they wouldn't even be friends if they weren't interested in the same situations. Oh, and we're still not done with Sean. There's probably something I'm gonna miss. There is so much that has come out about this man. But, like the great poet from my childhood, Clay Walker, said, where there's smoke, there's fire. This letter surfaced very shortly after the show aired with some pretty serious allegations against Sean texting a 13-year-old in New Mexico. Now, the person who actually wrote this letter did, in fact, work in this office at that time, and the dates of this letter and these allegations coincide with the ex-wives getting findings of immediate danger. A lot of this is on Reddit if you want to go look at people's opinions and read more through it and this sort of thing. However, I will debunk a couple things people said. Well, there's typos in this, so it can't be real. That is spoken like someone who has never worked in a social service in their life. Typos happen, it's what it is. Not to mention, several of the family members have corroborated this as the reason they don't come around anymore because they don't want Sean around their kids. So they're not coming back for a second season. They say this is their choice. However, and with the show putting things in the light, even though most of the things, again, people are upset about didn't happen on the show, it's the edit. Always blame the edit. You know what? They can't edit things that you never said or did. Just throwing that out there. That's it for this one. Like I said, though, it's an overview. I'm going to put it in a playlist. You can go watch those. We're going to spend the rest of our week, prepare yourself, finishing Shining Happy People 2. And let me tell you, as the great Ned Ryerson said, watch that step. It's a doozy. Oh my gosh. But anyway, I hope you have a good day, and I'll see you soon.